Welcome everybody, welcome Divine Reflections, welcome especially to the feminine energy, which we will be discussing today. I wanted to make a video about how the natural woman has been manipulated, modified, changed, stripped of her natural beauty, because I'm out here looking around trying to find a natural, truly natural woman that I could worship, that I can really embrace her natural self. But I noticed that she's not even embracing her natural self. She's been manipulated and programmed to be something else. She's been manipulated to cover up her natural beauty. She's been manipulated to certain standards that we're going to talk about. She's hiding her true self, and therefore she's perpetuating love for something that she isn't. But I'm going to show you today that she can and has the power to be loved for exactly who she is, because that's the natural order of things. Nature does not require anything for a woman to have so that she can be embraced by her counterpart, or embraced by her community or her tribe or the environment around her. She is a perfect manifestation of that physical energy, or that physical entity that she is being in this realm. She's perfect as she is. And I'm going to show you that. I'm going to break that down for you guys, how to what extent women have been manipulated and women are being changed on a day-to-day basis, and they're devolving into something other than from where they came. Something less, something inferior to the superior goddesses that they were when they were embracing nature. Alright, let's get this slideshow started. The conditioning of beauty. The European standard of beauty that has been propagated by the media has infiltrated the minds of the melanated, colored women. What is considered attractive is not natural, but a modification of the original. See, look at the bottom person on this slide. It's a complete, fake, modified, artificial human, lost in the program of society and what the consensus is now of what is beauty. Fake lips, fake hair, fake eyelashes, skin buried underneath a mountain of makeup. And at the top we have a natural, indigenous woman who has came and has embraced her environment and is in communion with her natural self, because she still lives in communion with her natural environment. She hasn't been programmed and manipulated by the man-made laws, the European style, the European ideals of what beauty is. She's still in her melanated body, still with her natural hair, and still embracing those natural laws. And this is the way it should be. Why should you have to go put fake lips on, fake hair on, extensions, dye your hair a different color, when you already are unique and beautiful and a goddess and a queen? Why should you have to do that? If that was real beauty is, then not everybody could be able to be beautiful, because that takes money, that takes resources, that's circumstantial. But no, nature hasn't designed it this way. Nature designed true beauty, and it is only through the manipulation of humans that we distort what nature creates as originally beautiful. It's through our mind that it's warped, that it's conditioned, that it's programmed to see things a certain way. to see, oh, this kind of nose is beautiful. Oh, this kind of structure is beautiful. Oh, only blonde and light colored hair is beautiful. Oh, lily white skin, that's what's beautiful. You know, women are afraid to embrace nature because in embracing nature, they strip themselves of the physical appearance that they've generated for themselves, which was stemming from the programming that they received and that they unconsciously, you know, started to embrace, and that from there their outward appearance reflected that changing in programming. Now I'm gonna play a clip for you guys because this is pretty crazy about how people are actually bleaching their skin. They're actually hating themselves. They're introducing toxins into their skin, and they're creating physical changes in their skin that are having negative physical or health repercussions. Why? Because they've been programmed to believe that lighter skin is more beautiful, because they have not understood the function, the biological function of melanin, and the biological function of embracing the sun, of receiving the vitamins and the nutrition that is generated by sunlight. We are supposed to be exposed to the sun. Why are we hiding in boxes and caves and air-conditioned environments where we're supposed to be getting embraced by the sun? You know, it's not natural for us to be away from the sun. Our skin is supposed to reflect the fact that we've been kissed and embraced by the sun. We are people of the sun. We come from the tropical environment. We stem from there. We originate from there. And the sun is the most effective at kissing our skin in that environment. But see, what you gotta realize is who is propagating this lily white skin propaganda. It's the people that were away from the sun. It's not even the people, it's the ideal, it's the European mindset. So when I say European mindset, I'm not talking about white people. I'm talking about the mindset that is propagated by those that people that stem from those people and the environment and the circumstances that they were in. So when they left Africa and they went to European and northern climates, things changed. It was they had to adapt, they had to do different things in order to survive in that environment, which is not a natural environment for a human being to be living in. So because of that, they developed certain characteristics and certain things, you know, in their body. Their physiology actually changed. You know, they lost melanin. You know, their body, their physiology lost melanin, so that any sunlight that they would absorb the most, you know, because there was limited sunlight. And they need that for their physical nutrition of their body to generate certain hormones, and the vitamin D, which is actually a steroidal hormone, and that needs to be produced in the body for other, you know, physiological things to occur in the body. But the body was just adjusting to the environment. We know that through epigenetics. You know, the body activates certain genes due to the environment, the stimulus of the environment around it. So when they came to America, when they came to the Western world, they brought these ideals along. They said, stay out of the sun. The sun causes cancer. That's up into modern day. That's still being propagated. They said, you know, this is how you're supposed to look. This is how you're supposed to eat. But they, unbeknownst to them, that was circumstantial to the environment they came from. But they had already been programmed, and they had already developed certain ways of living based off their old environment, that they brought that over to this environment, and they continued that. And now you are being programmed as such to also think that way in an environment and having a physiology that isn't made for those ideals. So if your ancestors, if your close ancestors descended from the tropics, South America, Mexico, Central America, Africa, your skin needs to be in the sun. You need to embrace the sun. It is the only way you're going to have maximum health. You cannot have maximum health if you're staying away from the sun. That's a fact. That's why people in these northern climates are vitamin D deficiency, they're getting multiple sclerosis, they're getting a lot of autoimmune diseases that are all being traced back to a lack of sunlight. Alright, so let's play some of what people are doing and how it's having negative effects.
They call themselves bleachers and are not afraid to take extreme measures to achieve lighter skin. Our investigations into the skin bleaching phenomenon in Grenada revealed that the trend has already started taking root, especially among women. Jamaican dancehall artists such as Vybz Kartel and Alkaline have popularized the skin bleaching rage among people of African descent in the Caribbean. Even men are said to have purchased skin lightening products as a means of showcasing their tattoos in some cases. Kieron Byam, a pharmacist at one of Grenada's leading pharmacies, says more and more people are purchasing these products.
One of the favorite products that are flying off the shelf, it's the Pond's cream, because due to conversing with persons and speaking with them, they tend to say that this product works best for them. It's based on skin type and everything like that, oily to dry, dry to oily. So based on the persons using it, they have to know what skin type they have.
He says there is some cause for concern because some people are intentionally misusing the product.
The ratio isn't balanced. You have more females coming in for it. In terms of the cosmetic side of it, you get 1 or 2 males coming in, but if they have to come in and get it, it's more along the lines of a tattoo-like situation. Your skin is dark, you want your images to show, you come in, you buy the products, and they apply it on.
Would you recommend someone to do that? That's like a misuse of what the product is really for.
Yes, initially it is a misuse of what the product is for, but it is recommended, but on advice of a physician and so on, because most persons, they abuse these products.
Dermatologist Dr. Jennifer Japal Isaac weighed in on the matter, saying skin lightening products will only be recommended to a patient for correcting what she calls post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, such as acne. However, she says people who misuse these products will experience a reverse effect than what it was originally intended for.
The prescription is for a very fixed time. Most of the products are to be used for 1 month and no longer. Once you start going over the period of time, you cause the skin to undergo some changes which cause further permanent blackening.
The dermatologist said this situation is a reflection of a sad reality of self-hatred perpetrated by the media.
We do not recommend bleaching your entire skin to change your color. We have to accept who we are as we are. And it is a sad reflection that we want to be fair. It's a cultural thing. I understand. We get fed all these things on television to do the music. I understand it is very common in Jamaica. And we're importing all of these cultures which are not, nothing to do with the Grenadian culture.
Dr. Isaac is advising people who use these products without prescription to refrain from doing so.
All right, so that's the whole thing, that people are being programmed into that. You saw her, it's having health implications, and even to begin with, if you even back up to the reason why they're using it in the first place, it is only because they're not living naturally that they're having issues of health. All these pig discolorations and these things are happening because they're not living in their natural ways that they're supposed to be living. They're not eating their natural diet, and then they have to supplement or do things that aren't natural either. And then we go down this road of anti-nature and fighting against nature and trying to pave back the weeds that are coming onto the road, because it's a constant battle with nature. Like, nature is resilient, and it keeps wanting to do what it does best, which is grow and evolve and keep, it can't be held down. So it's a constant effort to fight against nature. What the human is doing has to be consistently being, you know, kept up with. But as you saw, this is all programming. As she was saying, it was programming of cultural, you know, importing different other cultures and into that part of the world that is having influence on those people, because why? Because they're not connected to their environment anymore. They're not connected to their true self. They're already disconnected, so they put themselves in a position where somebody else could come and just influence so easily because they don't have that stronghold on their connection. And that's why it's so important to reconnect and realize who you truly are and reconnect back to the environment, nature, so that you can embrace that part of you and you can know who you really are, and you don't have to fall victim to these things that later you find out are having negative repercussions on you and your psychology and the way you perceive the world. Now you're perceiving people of lighter skin to be superior, and that's having a negative effect on the way you perceive yourself if you have darker skin, because now you see yourself as inferior. And what kind of life choices are you going to make? What kind of decisions are you going to make if you perceive yourself as inferior? You know, you're going to walk around with your head down. You're not going to feel that confidence that you're supposed to feel as a human being, because you've been programmed to perceive yourself as inferior. And all these people who are getting knowledge and stuff, they're all getting it from people who are, you know, lily white skinned, you know, the European mindset. And that's why I find it that I have to be a provider of knowledge for my people and the people of color, because we don't have a lot of that. And it's my responsibility, it's my duty as a man to provide that information, that knowledge, and that wisdom, and so that we can reconnect and embrace our power as humans. And it's not a masculine thing, but we have duties as certain genders that we gravitate towards, that puts us in positions of having more power. Like the woman has the nurturing qualities, and has such beautiful, you know, qualities that we need to embrace, that we kind of stepped away from because we live in civilization, because we live disconnected, that we even view those things as negative. And we're going to talk about that too in the next couple slides.
They call themselves bleachers.
So this is another crazy issue that we deal with nowadays, is we're having women that are actually modifying their body. They're putting foreign artificial toxic objects inside of themselves to try to literally fill a void that has been, a dent that has been left by the psychology of the European mindset. Implants, really? You're putting silicone, surgically cutting, and having this thing stuffed inside of you, a foreign object inside of your physiology. You don't think that's going to have negative repercussions? You don't see the fucked up part about that's destroying your body, that you're already beautiful, but you don't see that. You've been tainted by the psychology of the European mindset, of that system that's been propagated, that what has developed into modern day has been this media propagated, you know, big ass and titties. And that's exactly what women are going for. You go on Instagram, that's all you see. The bigger the ass, the more followers. These women don't do anything, but they throw selfies on of their ass and showing off their bodies, and they're getting millions of followers, millions of likes, you know, not sharing any knowledge with the world, not sharing any wisdom, not embracing any of their natural self. They're just propagating this same toxic mindset that we need to have these type of bodies in order to be beautiful as women, when in fact the woman in her natural state is a piece of art already. No need for this. This is toxic. This is circumstantial. If you need this to feel beautiful, not everybody could feel beautiful, because then not everybody could afford the surgery. Nature doesn't work that way. In nature, everything is equal and free. Everybody has the beauty that they that that's natural to them. They don't need to go and do things like this. And then we see some of the negative repercussions that come from that from a health part. You know, you have chronic chest pain, capsular contracture, rupture, systematic stress response, and increase in suicide risk, connective tissue disease, increased cancer risk, you know, depression, hair loss, changes in skin. This is because you have a foreign object inside of your body. It's not supposed to be that way. I always say it's not supposed to be that way, so you could snap out of it and realize, shit, like, why is that happening? Why have I been tricked into thinking that this is the standard of beauty that I need to be chasing? Even women at the gym are out there trying to, you know, pump iron so they could have a fat ass, you know, so they can have a nice round ass, when in nature does not do that. You know, you would have the body that was shaped by your environment and the circumstances in a natural environment that you would have to endure. That's the natural body. That's the truly natural body. Not being in a gym somewhere, you know, trying to manipulate and you know, condition your body to be something else. But that's how deep the programming is. That even that is going to take effort for people to see that is not natural. That's going to take effort because people have this conditioning that even that is healthy. You know, going to the gym and, you know, hitting those lunges and doing all this shit for your ass so that it could be popping out. But you're still following the same standard of beauty. You're still trying to you know, to push that European mindset of beauty. That mindset that says, you know, you have to have this, you have to have that. You have to change yourself, you have to go away from your natural self and become this, when it's not. It shouldn't be that way in the first place. Now this is a big one, you know, makeup. Women don't want to go here. Every time you even mention it, women are immediately triggered. What do they say? Oh, I don't do this for you, I do this for myself, you know, I just love myself, I love the way I look, all these things. But tell me how many of those women are actually going without makeup for a week, a month, extended periods of time without makeup. And then from those periods of time, tell me authentically how many of those women actually feel beautiful without makeup. And if that was the case, why when every single time a woman posts a picture without makeup, she feels the need to point it out? Now they even have a natural makeup look, a look of makeup to make you to make it look natural. What? That's preposterous. Just take off the makeup and you're natural. That's you. That's who you are. Without that artificial, you know, caking on of toxic substances on top of your skin, letting your skin, you know, clogging it up and not letting it breathe, you know, killing the bacterial flora that's supposed to live on your skin. It's insane. And I'm not going here because I hate women. It's the opposite. I'm pointing this out because I love women and I want to embrace and worship the natural woman. And I want you to come into your own power so that you can feel good about yourself in your bare self without any additives, without any toxic things on you to feel good about yourself. You don't need that. You shouldn't need that. Nobody should need that. All of us should be able to strip down butt naked and feel great about ourselves because that's who we truly are. But we have so much conditioning, we've been programmed so hard and so deep that you get a negative response whenever you mention makeup and how you feel better if women wear less, you know. But this, you know, this trying to get them to love themselves is being projected or is being viewed as an attack, you know, when in reality you just really want them to embrace their real nature. Because men are gonna love you regardless. You wear makeup, they're gonna love you because they're attracted to that feminine energy. And if you don't wear makeup, if all women didn't wear makeup, it's for sure men would still be following that, trying to get at that, trying to be with that, worshiping that. So it's this power that women have that they don't even recognize, you know, that they're not even aware of, that they have this power over men, that they don't need to add anything. But right now they're still slaves to the European mindset. That's their real master. So when you tell them that they should, you know, stop wearing makeup, just be natural, and they feel offended, they think they're being individualistic feminists, but in reality they're bowing down to unconsciously to another slave master, which is the European mindset, which is selling them this makeup. Who do you think is owning all these makeup companies, you know, making billions of dollars off these cosmetics and all these products that are selling to women? You know, that's somebody. That's who owns you. That person owns you, because you have to go day after day and buy their makeup. But yeah, you're accusing people who are trying to embrace your natural beauty of trying to control you, but you're being controlled and manipulated by those people, having to buy their makeup day after day and cover your true beauty up. Nah, these products are toxic. The conditioning has led to the consistent use of toxic makeup and a discomfort of being in your natural state. Women say makeup isn't for anyone but themselves, and they don't need it to feel beautiful, but how many days do they go without wearing it? Your skin is not made to have these toxic compounds covering the pores. The acetate, the red 22, the methylparaben, the propylparaben. All these, there's probably thousands and thousands of compounds that are in makeup that are toxic to human physiology, but yet this is all ignored to try to live up to that standard of beauty that we've been programmed to believe is beauty. But it's artificial, it's fake. You need to get over that. Men are going to love you regardless, I guarantee you. And now, when I see a woman, I look for the women without makeup, because there's so many women with makeup that it's just become like, you know, it's just become the standard now. Like, now I'm like, man, like, this is every woman now. Like, where I'm looking for the ones without makeup, you know? Like, that's what stands out to me now, because it's so common to wear makeup, you know? Like, I don't want to play along to this game, you know? I'm looking for the natural woman that I can, you know, bow down to and embrace and, you know, really behold as a natural, exemplary woman. Now even the feet are being modified. You have these shoes that women are being sold to squeeze their feet in that don't resemble the shape of their feet at all. You know, these heels that is elevating the heel, that is creating a flat foot, that is, you know, distorting the use and the shape of the anatomical shape of the natural foot. And you see how high heels are squeezing in the foot. If you look at a natural foot, look at a baby's foot, it goes, as it goes down to the toes, it actually goes outward. It goes out. It's kind of like a duck shape of a foot. If you look at a baby's foot, that's how. And that's supposed to go into adulthood. It's not supposed to go in at the top. But if you look at shoes, and especially high heels and like women's shoes, at the front of the foot, they actually cave in. And what this does is it pushes the toes together and it crams them in, and then it deforms the foot. And all of a sudden you're not as balanced as you should be, because you've distorted the anatomy of your foot by squeezing them day after day into these shoes that aren't made to fit you, that aren't made to be on your body. And furthermore, with women, they have these heels that are just lifting off the ground, the heel, and that's flattening out the foot. You're supposed to have a natural arch in your foot. That's what propels you forward. That's what lets you run. That's what has you mobile when you're out in the jungle and transversing these landscapes, you know. But if you're wearing these shoes all the time, if you're wearing heels all the time, every shoe, we should be barefoot. We're not supposed to have feet. What other animal has shoes? Like none of them do. We think we're superior, but in fact, wearing shoes is a crutch. It's a disability. Like, you're disabling that part of your body. You're putting it in a cast, and you're not letting it be used. What you don't use, you lose. If you're not using your foot the way it's supposed to be used, you have, you know, 100,000 nerve endings at the bottom of your foot that's supposed to sense the ground below you. You're supposed to be getting sensory information through your nervous system to feel what you're stepping on, if it's moist, the temperature of it, the roughness of it, the texture, you know. All these sensory information is no longer there, because now you're insulated by a shoe. And furthermore, it's the grounding effect, that the free electrons that you receive from the earth, and the, you know, the antioxidant effect and the free radicals that are being neutralized by you connecting to the planet, and the you know, the electromagnetics of that is a whole nother topic. But what I'm saying is, nature has everything figured out already. So the way we've been living, all these things, and then, you know, it's just like just adding to the, you need to buy this, you need to buy that, you need to buy makeup, you need to bleach your skin, you need to get implants, you need to buy shoes. No, like, we already had everything. We already were perfect in of ourselves, in our natural state. But through the European mindset and conditioning, we've been pushed products, pushed to buy shit, pushed to be unnatural and live unnaturally, and that creates destruction and chaos for the planet, because nature lives in balance and harmony, but man and his ideals create unbalance and chaos. Alright? Now the hair, that's a whole nother thing, you know. How many women are out there wearing weaves? How many women are dyeing their hair? How many women are suppressing their natural beauty by modifying this, the hair that's an extension of oneself, that we're cutting it all the time, we're putting chemicals on it, we're dyeing it, you know, we're straightening it, we're trying to do all these things to the hair and not just letting it be. Why? Because we've been conditioned to a certain standard that stems from the European origin. Now, women are doing this all the time, you know. Now, you know, even if you look at the Native Americans, you know, they wore their hair in a certain style, and they the way I look at it, when we came across the, you know, the bridge that was in the Ice Age that connected it, and we came across the Eurasian, you know, phenotype came across, and we came back and we reconnected with our roots. You know, we came back down, we populated the Americas, but we reconnected with nature. And but as such, you know, we're like the middlemen, like we're still recovering from some of that programming and some of that, you know, those physiological changes. And that's why we have, you know, some of our hair is more flat or more straight than, but we still are embracing it and letting it grow, and we are, you know, we are keeping it in its natural state. But we have people who are not, you know, not in society. We've been conditioned. Bleach it, dye it. How many women are dyeing their hair? You know, hair dye is the most toxic chemical on the planet. And what do people do? What do women do? Even men now, they dye their hair, and this water that they just flush it into the drain. And where is that going? You know, that's going into the reservoir for the water, and that's ending up in the water supply. They're tainting, contaminating the water supply to try to fit into the ideals of European beauty, or this ideals that's propagated by the media. You know, it's insane that they're poisoning themselves, but not only that, they're poisoning people around them. You know, having to smell the off-gassing that happens after dyeing your hair. It off-gasses for a couple of days, and that's gonna affect the health of people around you. You have a newborn and you're dyeing your hair. That's selfish as fuck. That's you're destroying that baby's, you know, health, because you're unconsciously wanting to fit into this ideals. And there's so many negative repercussions of when you don't want to fit into nature and you want to, you know, follow this path that you're not even conscious of, that we're barely even becoming aware of now because of science. You know, science is showing us, you know, the facts and breaking it down to a molecule on what is toxic and what is right and what is wrong. But when we go back and look at it, it all goes back to nature. Science is saying, oh, okay, yeah, nature had the key. Nature, you're supposed to embrace the sun. You're supposed to be grounded. You're not supposed to have toxins. That all has negative effects on your health. And now we're being able to tap into that. Now we're merging the two worlds. But science is telling us to go back to nature. And most people, they don't want to listen, you know, because they're too programmed, they're too deep, they're too invested in the system to have to adopt new ways of living. But if you want to continue as an organism, if you want to embrace your true power, your natural beauty, women, you have to let go of this shit. You have to embrace your true self and feel good about yourself, and that's going to shine outward, and other people are going to love you for that. And this is what I was talking about, the whole illusion of independence. A lot of women have fallen victim to the independent woman ideology. You are not independent, you serve a hidden master. The illusion only creates separation and division between the natural male and female balance that exists in nature. See, it's crazy, man. They're separating us, they're dividing us. We're supposed to be king and queen together in a tribal community, you know, looking out for each other and completing each other in that natural environment. The woman nurturing the man, providing the man's knowledge and wisdom, you know. That's the natural way of things. But now we're so far gone from nature that women, they think that they can just be alone by themselves. You know, I don't need no man. You know, that whole way of thinking, you know. But it's an illusion. See, one thing you're going to notice about the European mindset is that it provides illusions. So a lot of the times, shit looks real, it looks legit, but it's an illusion. It's a diversion. So you have the illusion that you're an independent woman, but no, you're serving a hidden master. You're serving the government. The government's providing for you. Or you're serving a company, you're buying companies, or you're working for the business or the government again. It's an illusion. There's nothing wrong with being and embracing, you know, the masculine energy as a woman. You know, we need each other. We need each other in a natural environment. You know, we need to mix these two energies, and we need to mix these two, you know, natural states of being so that we can be a complete human race. But no, the European mindset wants to diminish and dissolve this. They want to abolish all that is nature, and in doing so, they're trying to abolish the natural, you know, relationship that's supposed to be had between the natural man and the natural woman. So now they're creating an artificial woman and like having an artificial relationship with the artificial man. It's just so far disconnected that, you know, these women think that they're so individual, that they think they have their own stuff going for themselves. But when they really look deep down inside, they're still searching for that male counterpart that is going to fulfill the things that she can't naturally. The things that naturally, you know, she wasn't made to fulfill. That she doesn't need to, that she doesn't even like fulfilling. But she's being conditioned by the European mindset to want to do these things that she doesn't even want to fulfill. Because she's never been allowed to embrace her natural self and be in her natural beauty and her natural essence. So, and the same thing with the man, you know, the man, we're now viewing women as sex objects and something we don't need, something we can just purchase, go to a strip club, get a, you know, a prostitute or something like that, and we're using these women, you know, go on Pornhub, go watch porn, and just, you know, rub one out, and you say you don't need a woman. It's the same thing. We're trying to, you know, ignore the reality because we live in a world that's not conducive to the truth and nature. They're pushing us away from nature and making us believe that we should be chasing their ideals and that kind of mindset. So this is what I was talking about. Sexualizing the female body and removing the nurturing nature of women. We've been taught to sexualize the female body while at the same time suppressing her nurturing side. We are taught to look down and frown upon a woman feeding her child with her body while promoting her same body as a sexualized object. So this is a funny little cartoon. It says it's a woman breastfeeding, and behind her is like a advertisement of a woman in a bra, and you have a security guard saying, you know, and a guy telling her, the security guard, nursing? This is a shopping mall. We can't allow women to brazenly display their breasts. Yet they have that big ass advertisement for a woman. So you see these two contradictory ideas that we're being taught to sexualize a woman's body. So when we see a woman naked, we think sex. You know, we get these feelings that we're not supposed to have. You know, it feels like forbidden. But at the same time, we're not allowed to show the breast of a woman when she's nurturing, because that's nature. Sexualizing a woman in her natural body isn't nature. That's a programming and conditioning of society. Nurturing a baby, feeding a baby with your body, that's one of the most beautiful and natural things that a woman could do. Yet, it's being frowned upon now. It's being looked down on. People are criticizing that because they're so fucking disconnected that they don't want to let women express their natural selves. So that's the insanity of a world that we're living in. We're living in this insane asylum, in this domesticated zoo that's shifting away and stripping away all signs of nature so that you can become this modified being. So what road are you going to choose? As a woman, which road are you going to choose? Do you want to go down the road of becoming this artificial concept of a woman? Or are you going to embrace your true natural beauty that you don't need anything for? You don't need to buy any makeup for. You don't need to buy any shoes for, any hair, any products, any of that. You don't need any of that. In your true, bare, natural skin, you are a goddess, and I bow down and I embrace your beauty. Really, I do. And it frustrates me that I can't go out here and see any of that. And I want to do that, and I want to find those women, but I can't, because every woman is embracing this artificial way of being. You know, where are the natural women at? Where's my natural beautiful women at that I can find and embrace and behold and worship as the queen and goddess that she is? Non-existent, nowhere to be found. Go out there and look for yourself. Look around, be aware, become conscious, and see what has transformed us now. This progression of becoming artificial humans, you know, it's been happening for a long time, but now we've reached the point where you can't even find any nature anymore, any natural women anymore. So, this is what I say to you, women. This is my plea as your counterpart, as your masculine side, your masculine energy, is that I ask, let's return to nature. Return to balance, order, structure, health, purpose, harmony, and true beauty, so that we can live the life that we were meant to live by no other man's ideology or standards, but by the natural laws that govern our existence. Thank you. I'm out. Peace, Reflections.